Hey everybody, this is Larry. This is day 19 of the Leetcode Day Challenge. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, join my Discord. Let me know what you think about this one. Today is 6:21 Task Scheduler. Hope everyone's having a good Monday or Tuesday, wherever you're watching it, or time zones are hard. But just want to say that I got some kind comments in the last couple of videos. Thank you for that. I do read most of the comments. And try to avoid trolls as much as I can. But but I would also say that if you want to join the Discord channel, which is the link over there, somewhere like on top. Yeah, check out that link, and you have used Discord. I think I get a lot of questions about how to get better, and there are a couple of ways. I mean, it depends on where you are, obviously, and what you want to work on. But I think the number one of the best things that that this is how I learned a lot when I was doing competitive and stuff like that, is just having the sense of community. I think in a weird way, when I was starting out in competitive, the competitive world, if you want to call it that, is kind of small, and so like I wouldn't say everyone knew each other, but like a good amount of people knew a good amount of people, like at least on the internet, right? Like I correspond with Petter, very famous people, and all these target people, right? And a couple of them, Misoff is, I think, target plus or whatever. I don't know if he's done Code Force these days, but in any case, people kind of gave me their time and very patient in answering most of my silly questions, and kind of the reason why I'm proud of the Discord, and I mean this channel is good too, I think, hopefully. but the reason why I like the Discord is just because of its community, and sometimes I try to get back or give back, in ways that I can, even though sometimes I'm busy, of course, and sometimes I'm traveling, of course. But it's not it's pretty, like, just to be clear, like I don't think I'm the smartest person on my server, right? So but it's an opportunity to learn. When you are the smartest person in a room, that means basically I don't know, you have to find a bigger room, a different room, so you could keep on growing, keep on learning. But no, yeah. So definitely do that if you want to kind of correspond in real time, and maybe even find a buddy for accountability, or just just chat with people. There's a lot of smart people there, which I'm very proud of. But yeah, and as long as you're willing to, or like if your opinion is to learn and to grow, then the community is a good one, I think. And one thing that I don't know why I'm ranting a little bit today, because I think I was just talking to someone about this, but the reason, I mean, I think one thing that I think this differentiates it from other servers is that I think one thing that I'm a little bit annoying about, even though this, I know that this is how the internet works, but I still try to fight back a little bit about it. Also because because I think, like, I don't know, let me know in the comments if I'm really wrong about this, and of course you could have just skipped forward a little bit if you want to just watch this prompt. I'm a little bit ranty today, but yeah, I just feel like there's just so much misinformation about everything, about being a software engineer. From, I mean, I guess for a lot of people it'll be starting with interviews, but even just like what do you do, what do you do when you get there, how to get promoted, all these things. There's just so much misinformation, that these things kind of come in like an echo chamber psycho thing, right? Like I feel like as someone who's been through the process probably too many times, and just have and on the other side of that process, right, like in both interviewing and not even just interviewing, but like coming up with how we want to interview, just things that I kind of did as I joined a kind of a startup, and then it kind of blew up a little bit in the past. So yeah, so there are definitely a lot of kind of angles, but from that perspective, I'm like, now stop repeating stuff that you read on Reddit. I mean, I'm sure it's well intended. I'm sure you're trying to help, but like you don't know that firsthand, so like, stop just like repeating each other's stuff. And one opinion that I've been kind of, I don't know, I keep on thinking about, because I used to be, maybe I still am, to be honest, very gullible, to be honest. I read something, I'm like, oh, huh. I mean, I do have like, scientific mind to question some stuff, but I'm like, oh, huh, can this be true? And I waste a lot of time thinking whether they can be true, but now I'm like, maybe I'm a little bit, now I'm used to the internet. I'm more, hopefully not too cynical, but a little bit cynical, where I'm like, half of these things are like, I've had things where a 15-year-old is trying to tell me how to interview at a high frequency trading firm, and I'm like, what can you possibly tell me? With all due respect, like, I mean, look, you may be smart, you may be very smart, but this is not about being smart, And I'm sure you read it somewhere and you mean well, but come on, like, know your limits, know the bounds and the things, and and that, yeah, I mean, we're all here to learn, but people, for some reason, I just feel like people are very confident about things that they cannot possibly know. So, yeah, anyway. All right, sorry about that. Maybe I should have scheduled this task for a little bit later. I also went to the gym today and got a very good workout. I feel like today I'm just, I don't know. Even though I didn't sleep that long, but I don't know. It may also be the allergy medication that I was saying yesterday. Because I'm on Claritin D. The D stands for, I don't know. I think the D stands for that thing that you get to make meth or something. So I don't know. So I think that has get me a little bit more wired than I am normally. I don't know. All right, let's actually do this form. Sorry, friends, if you're kind of 7 minutes into the video. All right, 621 task scheduler. Have I done this? Is this the old UI thing? I have done this. But all right, so you're given an array of CPU tasks, each represented by letters A and Z, and a cooling time N. Each cycle or interval allows the completion of one task. Tasks can be completed in any order, but there's a constraint. Identical tasks must be separated by at least N intervals due to cooling time. All right, whatever that means. Return the minimum number of intervals. Oh, so we're having another interval problem. Intervals to be required to complete all tasks. Okay. Okay. N is 100. What's N again? Oh, wait. Oh, that's the lag time. Okay. And task length is 10 to the 4th. It's kind of okay. I mean, yeah, my just going over my thought process is that I'm trying to think, is there any reason why we cannot just compress this into frequency table, right? Or just like a counter is what I mean. So let's do that. Oops. To begin with, right? And then once we do that, what does this mean, right? Well, what this means is that it really doesn't matter, like, the labels don't matter, right? There's no like A has to be before B or B has to be, like, it doesn't matter. So then that means that we actually only care about the values, right? All right. And then now what? We probably could sort it to give it some structure. I think that's the way to do it. And what is an interval? Oh, interval is just a cycle. That's a weird. Okay, fine. But yeah, I'm just gonna sort this real quick, just because it's always nice. Maybe we need the reverse sorting, but yeah. So I think in a greedy kind of way, we can we simulate this? I mean, 10 to the 4th times 100 should be fast enough, to be honest. But we can probably just do some maths. Right? We actually probably want the reverse of this, just because in a greedy kind of way, it makes sense that we want to do the max element first, right? The element that shows itself the most time, but it might not be the optimal. I think this is like one of those balancing things. And what I mean by that is that like for example, if you have 100 A's and like 5 B's, and then 5 C's, 5 D's, you might not want to, and I don't know, n doesn't matter. Maybe we set n equal 1, whatever, right? Or even, can n be 0? N could be 0 anyway, so we'll just say 0. So you may not want to, like, you may be tempted to go like, or maybe even n equal 1, like A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, dot, 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 right? But probably the more optimal thing would be A, B, C, A, right? Because then now it would be, shorter. So you have to be a lot careful for sure. But this kind of comes up to the heap thing, right? Of always getting the max 2 elements. No, I mean, well, that is a thing, but does that make sense here? Kind of. Do we want to? I think the thing that I'm trying to figure out is, do we want to simulate, right? This is kind of a tricky problem, I think, medium. Well, at least for me, because I just feel like everything I want to do, I should prove a little bit. And everything I want to do is greedy, I think, which is why we should prove a little bit or a lot. I mean, we certainly can do stuff with a heap, right? But I wonder if that's the way to do it. I mean, okay. I mean, I think one thing that I'm uncertain. So let's just try it. I think one thing that I have said is that yeah, one thing that I have said is just, what have I said? Sorry, I'm just getting distracted in my head about this problem. But yeah, one thing that I would say about, just solve it first and then see what happens. Maybe, I mean, if n is 100, then the answer is at most 10 to the 6. So we should be able to simulate this, right? Should be pretty straightforward to simulate. And we'll see if, and if it's too slow, then we'll try to see where we can make changes. But I think, like, for me, maybe the focus should be just solving it, right? And then now we have now we kind of need a label, but not really. No, I don't think we need a label. Yeah, okay, yeah, maybe not. Let's just go this browse. Right, for we browse, then we want to put into the heap. What do we want to put? We want to put the initial time that we go kick it off, so we'll just be 0. V is the number of items left. I guess that's it, right? We don't need any identifiers. It shouldn't matter. Yeah. Okay. And of course, actually, I guess you could just do a heapify as well. But we'll pop anyway, so I don't think this changes the complexity too much. It's in 20. Oh, so we only have 26 things anyway, so it's not that bad. Yeah. And then now we just simulate, but be careful, right? So time is equal to 0, right? While we still have stuff in the heap, meaning that we still have objects to do. Time is equal to max of time. Well, we want to pop. We want to pop, and we get the time. Maybe a recurrent time. Yeah. we get the time and the number of count left, so that's the pop, right? And keeping in mind that you're using another language in Python, heap in Python is a min heap. So yeah, okay. So we just basically update the time to the t, right? Yeah. And then now we want to put, if c is greater than 0, that means that we have to push it back. We push back, so it'll be the current time plus n. N is terrible variable name, but yeah, and c minus 1. And then that's it, I think. Whether this one's fast enough is another story. Is it not? Is it reversed? Reverse is equal to true? Why is that? I mean, am I off by 1 here? So current time is going to be 0. So then the next one is going to be 2, right? 0, 1, 2. Maybe I meant plus 1. Okay, let's try. Because it doesn't count the current time, I guess. Also going to run the other one. It's just parallelly. So I could kind of see, maybe I'm off by a little bit still. Alright, let's get that. So this, so okay, let me think. So 0, but then there's 2 in between. So yeah, so this should be plus 1. It may be just that so I think the plus 1 makes sense here. The reason why I'm a little confused is that so if I'm overestimating or underestimating, it's fine, but yeah, my type breaking is wrong. It's why, or one of the reasons why. Basically, if there are 2 things that could be done at the same time, we choose the one with lower frequency, which is the same case that we were saying that have an issue. So I have to use like a negative v here, and then I don't know, and then c is equal to negative c or something, and then now, this is very awkward. I wish there's an easier way to do stuff like this to kind of sort by the second element a little bit differently. Still doesn't change anything, but I do want to add my case before I forget it actually. There must be an easier way. Okay, I could copy and paste that, and then all right. I mean, okay. I mean, there's not much to do other than to kind of take a look. Okay, so 0, 3, 0, 3, that's good. And then at time 3, which is true, we have 2. Oh, well. Am I doing this wrong? C is 0, we have 3 in the beginning. Oh, let's look at current time. Something is wrong here because it should not have 0 twice. So so then 0, and then oh, I see, maybe that's why. But then now after that we increment by 1, so maybe I don't need this plus 1 if I increment by 1, but I just kind of didn't carry it forward. Maybe just plus 1 here, right? Okay, so after the first one we do and then 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so what am I getting wrong? Well, by a lot it turns out. But the idea should be most okay. Okay, and then 4, 5, 7, 8. All right, why did I do an extra one? There's only 3. Oh, why did I process? Oh, if that's Okay, so this C or doesn't count this one. Okay, that means that we still have one left. Okay, that seems pretty straightforward to fix. All right, and then now we have to fix the other thing. I mean, we fixed the other one, I guess. I don't know how that messed up. Very sloppy to these days. But yeah, all right, 0. There's 8 of these, and then here we go 0. Oh, I cannot do it this way then, because this is basically the I mean, so this is the case that I put in for this one. I thought that would sort itself out, but I guess the other stuff don't. We have to do like a 2-layer sort thing. Okay, yeah. Okay, fine. I have to do like a second heap, I guess. I mean, a similar problem. I feel like I've done a similar problem. But yeah, then now we don't need the negative v, so let me just kind of get rid of all this because it's just hard to read. Let me run it real quick. I mean, I know it's wrong. I just wanted to run it to make sure that it still runs. But basically here, instead of this, let's see. How do I want to write this? Basically, the idea is that, okay, let's say we have 0, right? And then now we go to the time 1. We actually don't want to keep, we don't want to keep on like keeping them in order, right? So basically the reason why this is happening is we just have a lot of 0, 1s or whatever. And then it just kind of processed all the stuff that was queued up. But you don't want to process all the stuff that's queued up in order. You want to process the one with the most elements when the time is available. So that's the difference, right? So okay, so then now maybe P for pool, and then what we want to do is kind of just like a while length of x greater than 0, right? I know that there's a duplicate thing, but yeah, and how do I write this? Right, so basically if you want to do it, you just if current time is greater than or equal to t, we want to push this to p, and we just want to push the value of c because there's no other differentiating thing. But then now we want to loop this, right? Maybe while true, right? And then else we break. It's a very awkward way of writing, and sometimes Python is like this. But yeah, well, I guess in here we can also do length of heap is greater than 0, because that should also terminate. But yeah, and I guess you can probably use like the walrus operator to kind of chain this all together. But I feel like that. All right, let's try it. I'm not a fan of this, but I am a fan of learning, so we'll try it. No, we can't do it this way, because we don't always want to pop. All right, so we want to, let me rewrite this, hang on. All right, so we want to pop once. We always want to pop once, right? So if this is true, then we want to loop, right? So then now, while this is true, then we want to push this in. If this is kind of a weird way of writing it. Basically, now we're looking at the top of the heap to see if we want to keep on pushing. Basically, we want to push out everything that we can, right? Alright, I'm gonna write this another way. So basically now current so top of the to the top of the time t is equal to heap q dot heap h of 0 of 0. So this is basically the top of the heap. The time there, and then now current time is equal to max current time t, right? And then now we can do the loop of this, because this will always pop at least once, while current in time is, so this is always going to be true because of this thing, and then now we can always pop once, and we pop and then we push it, right? And then we have to check again. This is so awkward. Is how do I want to write this? Something like this, right? Basically, if this is the top of the stack is fast, then you know to do this. And then now current time we can increment by 1. And then now we pick the one we want. So C is equal to heap Q dot heap pop of P, right? Oops, this will you love it. So I'm because then now that's not good enough, is it? Maybe I could. No, I'm trying to think where there could be a case where heap is 0, but you have a bunch of things left here. But this by itself, I think, should always push a thing into the heap. Because it only pushes something to the heap if it's greater than 0. Unless I do something like, I don't know. If C is greater than 0, then we do this. And then otherwise we just, maybe this works. I don't know if this works. Let's give a spin. Heap. So it could be 0, huh? How? Man, I am struggling today for some reason. We push the heap second one here. Why? Let's see, let's push, I'll print both heaps. Okay, so then now you have 0, 3, 0, 3, alright. Current time is equal to, right? This should be good, right? Why is this giving me an issue? Why is this not popping here? H is greater than 0, and this thing is true. Is this thing true? Maybe I needed to do something like this, which is still very awkward, but alright, so that works, but like I said, very awkward. Right, 3, 3. Alright, let's just add the current time real quick. I 1-4. Oh wow, that's not great. Oh, because this is the top of the heap now, but we still have stuff to process, so we don't need to go to the top of the heap yet. I'm doing these in like the weird order, I think. Wow, this is harder than I expected, maybe. Well, I think because I misunderstood how I want to write it. It just kind of like, as I'm trying to fix this, yeah, maybe my original way to kind of come up with this problem was wrong. Huh. Wow, I'm just like really bad today. Okay. How do I want to resolve this? Wow. Can't believe I'm just like struggling on this one somehow. Alright, and then now top to heap the time. We don't want to do that. Or like, this is fine, but here, let's see. Maybe if length of p is, so we only do this if we have nothing waiting, I guess. Then we can simulate it going faster. That's what the purpose is. But alright, let's see. I mean, this is a better start, I think. Maybe maybe still wrong, but 3-3. Now on time 3, you have 2, you have 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8 is right. 9, 10. I mean, this is a little bit awkward because of the way I structured it with the C-1. Because then now, oh, because then now it tries to look at this, but then this is already -1. Okay, fine. Maybe I don't need this. It may still. There we go. Alright, it got the first one right. Why is the second one wrong? Because I think it's 1. 1, 1, 2, 2. Length of p is greater than 0, so you look at the top of the heap and get the time. And it gets it as 1, right? And it does a lot of stuff, and it pushes everything to p. Okay, but then after deceleration, this is 0, like we said. So, or length of p is greater than 0, I guess. I don't know if that's gonna give me an issue. That's why I didn't do it that way. But all right, that looks better for the other ones. But I do fail my original test. I mean, my sample input is good, but not the things. So okay, so why is that? Oh, I am dumb because the second heap is it's a min heap. So okay, so we just have to fix that. Same thing here, which is kind of yucky, but okay, fine. All right, there we go. And then the only thing that I probably would want to do if I wasn't lazy is to do a max case, but I am lazy, so let's just give it a submit and hopefully it works. Ah, yay, nice. This is the reason why I hesitated to do some of these things this way is because honestly, it's just very ugly. But like I said in the beginning, though I made that mistake anyway. This is the classic premature optimization, right? So yeah, this is and for me the optimization isn't algo, it is cleaning up the code. If the code is ugly but it works, then we can optimize it later, right? And that's what I should have done. Instead, I try to do a little bit too much. But yeah, the two-heap solution, is there an easier way? I guess this other time I also used the two-heap solution. Basically did the same thing, to be honest, with the two heaps, except I added another counter for whatever reason. Here I didn't even need it. Is there another way to do this? Greedy. There's a greedy. Oh, that is how I did it though, but with heap. But I mean, I consider mine greedy, but apparently there's another smarter greedy. I mean, this is the solution that I was kind of saying about the halves and stuff like this. But I mean, I didn't think there would be an analytical one, to be honest. So I was very wrong on this one. Yeah, okay. And there's a math formula. Wow, I really did not think about this one at all then. I suspected there might be, but I didn't think that, I guess I could have done the math that way. But, apparently I did it the same, because I think the thing with, this is not a great example for me, because the reason why I did it this way is because, for me, like if I was like I said, it's not a great example because I took so long on here. But for me, I'm thinking about like contest mode and not necessarily the interview mode. Maybe if I was in interview mode, I would have thought about stuff more deliberately. But in contest mode, I'm just trying to get any answer as fast as possible. I mean, within reason, and sometimes with the other ones, it just feels more uncertain to me. Like the other type of solutions. And if you have infinite time, then you can do it. It's fine, and you could do proofs and stuff like that. And if you have good intuition, but for me, like I would not like this. I want to say that I'm confident that this worked before I like the idea works for sure, right? Simulation, but it turned out to be harder than I expected. So that I did not predict well. But the reason why I didn't like using the formula stuff is because it's just way easy to get it wrong. There are a lot more edge cases, and you might just be wrong, right? Like, and then you have to do it this way anyway. But simulation, there's really no like algorithmic reason that is wrong in this greedy way. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this one. It's definitely a tricky one, and apparently I did the same thing twice. 4 years apart, so I don't know. But yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know how you did it, and hopefully you did it much quicker. But that's what I have for this one. Let me know what you think. Stay good, stay healthy, take good mental health. I'll see y'all later and take care. Bye bye.